Hi, welcome to the DevOps Planet with Amjad. My name is Amjad Nagori and I'll be your instructor for this course. Let me introduce myself first and then we are going to talk about the course, like what we are going to cover in this course, how we are going to cover, what is the course format, what you will get out of this course, and what is our target audience. So, I have 11 plus years of experience in IT, out of which I do have 7 plus years of experience in cloud and the DevOps technology. And for Terraform, I have extensive experience. I'm using Terraform from last more than 5 years. I heard about Terraform back in 2020, and before that, I was using the PowerShell mostly to deploy the resources to do the automation. But when I got to know about the infrastructure as a code concept and the Terraform, the logic behind it, and the benefits of the Terraform, I got very amazed. Because when we are comparing it with the scripting language like PowerShell or the Python, then we got to know like how beneficial the infrastructure as a code is and how helpful it is in the automation journey of your environment. You can use the DevOps CI/CD pipeline with the Terraform. Before that, I was like, whenever I'm hearing about the DevOps term, I got in my mind that it is mostly a developer focused thing. But when I got to know about the infrastructure as a code, I understand like we can even deploy the resources, do the implementation and the infrastructure deployment with the DevOps CI/CD pipeline. And we can also use the term the CI/CD pipeline and the logic behind it with the infrastructure as a code. So that thing was very amazing for me. So I got curious about it and I started learning Terraform. So I learned about it. I got certified into it back in 2022, 2020 itself, and then I started using it in my real-time environment. And trust me, like I'm using it from last 5 years, and I have extensive experience into it. And it was always amazing to use the infrastructure as a code. It is helping you to like do the DevOps and the automation in a way which you couldn't do with any other way. So when I got to knowledge, I got the knowledge about the Terraform. I thought like, yeah, I do have extensive experience into it. I'm using it into the real-time environment and like doing the different automation using the CI/CD pipeline, deploying a self-service portal, deploying the infrastructure, landing zone, and all the resources with the Terraform itself. And we can follow all the standardization, all the governance and everything by using this approach or by using the infrastructure as a code approach. So I thought let's share this knowledge with others so everybody get the benefit of what I am getting right now with the Terraform. So that was the whole story behind like starting with this course. And this is my first course on the YouTube. I have a teaching experience, but not on the YouTube or other way, but like a live classes or the online classes. But this is my first video on the YouTube, and hopefully I'll have more videos about the different topics soon. Now let's talk about the course. This course is designed from the basic, like how to install the Terraform, what is the infrastructure as a code, the logic and the concept, to the advanced level where we are going to cover what is the Terraform modules, what is the Terraform advanced commands, what is the Terraform expressions like a for loop, for each loop, count loop, and how we can utilize them in a real-time experience. So I have designed this course in a way that the first part I'm going to explain the topic. So let's assume we are going to talk about the Terraform resource block. So I'm going to explain you the what is resource block, what is the benefits of the resource block, how we write the syntax of the resource block, and I'm going to explain in a very interactive way because I have designed a lot of slides with the automation and all, and with the animation and all that you will it will be very interactive to understand, and I've spent a lot of time into it, and that's why I'm a little bit late to launching this course. So I'm working, I think, more than a year now to designing the animation, the slides, and then recording it, and then doing the editing and all. So yeah, it is quite a lengthy course, but I'm sure you will get like every understanding of every topic of the Terraform. And once you complete this course, you will get the like all the knowledge of the Terraform. So I have covered every topic of the Terraform. And if you do the practice along with me when I am doing like explaining the topic, and then we do have another section where we are going to do the real-time laboratory section or practical section. If you do the practice along with me, you will get the like a full knowledge of the Terraform, and you will be ready to use the Terraform in your environment, in your job role. And if we are talking about the certification, so yeah, if you cover the all the topics and everything, you'll be ready to go for the Terraform Association certification as well. So that's about the course. Now, when I was talking about the format, so yeah, first I'm gonna explain it every topic with all the animation and in an interactive way. The second part of the course would be like I have a practical session or the laboratory session along with that. So we cover the description or the explanation of the topic, and then we will use that particular topic in the real-time example. So I have designed a 3-tier application, which you can see on my screen now, that we are going to deploy this particular 3-tier application throughout the course. So we do have in this application, we do have the backend, front end, and the database. We do have the app services. We do have the SQL services, and the network, the virtual network, and the subnet resource group. And the virtual network format which we are using here is a hub and spoke model. So we do have a production environment and the test environment. So we are throughout the course, we are going to deploy this whole environment as a real-time project. So you will get the knowledge of the real-time experience as well. So in this course, we are going to do the practical. So let's assume we are covering a topic of the resource block. Then I'm going to explain about the resource block. And in the practical, I'm going to show you in this project how we can utilize the resource block. Because this project is kind of a real-time project. This is something you are deploying in your real-time environment. So how you can use the Terraform or that particular topic in this project. So throughout the project, we are going to cover it. And by the end of the course, you will be able to like deploy all these resources using the Terraform. How we are going to integrate and following all the best practices in the recommendation. So I have designed it in a way that I'll be doing the part of the deployment of this project, and along with me, you are also going to do it. So you will kind of get a homework. So you can also do the real time, you can also get the real time experience out of it. And by doing this, I thought like the course will be very interactive, and you will get it will be very interesting for you as well. So that was the whole reason I have designed in a way that I'll explain first, and then we will do the real-time experience of it. Okay, so that is about the course. Now, if we talk about the target audience, so anyone can learn the Terraform from this course, but as you know that this course is basically designed with the Terraform with Azure, right? So you should have the knowledge of the Azure, at least the administrative level of knowledge of the Azure. So AZ104 exam, if you already cleared, or the topic if you already covered, then you should be ready for this course. But if you're not, then I would suggest, or I would recommend, highly recommend, that first go and learn the Azure and then come back to this course and learn the Terraform. Because if you don't know the Azure, then you will not get the knowledge, or you will not get the understanding that why we are using this thing here and that thing here, why we are deploying the subnet, what is the purpose of the subnet, what is app service, what is SQL services. So if you don't know about those terms, then it will be very hard for you to learn the Terraform. So my recommendation is you go and learn the Azure first and then come back to this course and start learning the Terraform. So this is the kind of a prerequisite for this course. And I would say like the target audience is the one who is already working on Azure, or at least have the knowledge of the administrative level of Azure. Okay. In terms of what you will get out of this course is, I already explained, you will be like a production ready after following this course. So if you are completed all the videos, then you will be ready to like implement or start using the Terraform in your real-time environment. So we are covering each and every topic, and if you are doing the practice, if you are following all the courses, every topic and everything, then you will be ready to start using the Terraform in your environment. You will be ready for the exam. You will be ready for using the Terraform in your real environment. You will be ready for the Terraform related interviews as well. Because we are going to talk about each and every topic in a very detailed way, and also like where we are using it in a real-time experience or real-time environment, because I'm going to share my real-time experience throughout the course, where I'm using this topic and why I'm using and what benefit I'm getting it. Okay, so that's all about the course, and that's all about me. Hope you enjoy this course, and good luck. Hi, welcome to my course Terraform with Azure. So first let's talk about what are the course objectives, what we are going to cover in this course. So in those course, the very first topic which we are going to cover is overview. In overview, we will talk about what is Terraform, what is infrastructure as a code, how does Terraform work, why Terraform, what is Terraform syntax, benefits of Terraform, and what are the prerequisites to run the Terraform. In the next topic, we will see how to install and configure the Terraform version and how to upgrade it, and how the Terraform work with Visual Studio Code. which is one of my favorite IDE tool. In the next topic, we are going to talk about the providers. What is the overview of providers? What is providers in Terraform? And then we'll talk about provider block, how to write the provider block. Then we will talk about how Terraform fetch providers, how to manage the version of the provider, Azure provider authentication methods, multiple provider with alias. Then we will see the main commands. In main commands, we will see what does Terraform init do, what is the purpose of Terraform fmt command, what is Terraform validate, what is Terraform plan, apply, and the destroy command do. After that, we will talk about the resource blocks, which is one of the main block in Terraform. In Terraform, we write everything in the block format, and this is something we are going to talk about when we will learn the Terraform syntax. So resource block is one of the most important block in Terraform. In this section, we are going to talk about overview, resource block behavior, resource block dependencies, resource block meta arguments. After that, we will talk about data sources. In data sources, we will talk about the overview of data sources, data source references, data source dependencies, data source meta arguments. Then we have another type of block in Terraform, that is output block. We will talk about the overview of output block optional arguments which we can use with the output block itself. Then, like any other languages, we do have the variables in Terraform as well. So in this section, we are going to talk about the variable declaration, how to declare the variable, what are the arguments available in the variable, how to define the variable, what is the use cases of the variable or how to use the variable, and what are the local variables and how they are different from the normal variable. After this section, we are going to talk about the Terraform state, which is the soul of Terraform. And why I'm saying it's a soul of Terraform, that is something you guys are going to know once we are talking about the Terraform state. So Terraform state is simply the soul of Terraform. In this section, we are going to talk about the what is state file, what is the local state, what is the remote state, what is the difference between the local and the remote state, what are the locking in state, what is the Terraform import command, and what are the other state commands which we do have. After that, we are going to talk about the expressions. Similarly, like other languages, we do have the functions, we do have the conditional expressions like if else condition, we do have the looping like a for loop and other kind of a loop in Terraform to iterate the code again and again. And then we do have the dynamic blocks. We will talk about what is the dynamic block and where we are using the dynamic block. Then we do have the provisioner. We will talk about where to use the provisioner and what is the purpose of provisioner. Then we do have null resources, and we will talk about what is the type of null resource in Terraform expression is. After that, another important topic in Terraform is modules. Modules, in this section, we are going to talk about the overview of module, how to create a module, how to call a module, and what are the meta arguments supported by the module. So in this section, we go through like what is the Terraform modules and how to create them, how to call them. After that, there are some advanced commands or advanced level commands in Terraform, which we are going to talk about. There are some commands related to the Terraform state, how we are using those commands, what is the purpose of those commands we are going to talk about, what is Terraform show command do, what is Terraform taint and untaint, what is Terraform console command do, and what is the Terraform graph command. So these are the objectives or these are the course objective which we are going to talk about throughout the course. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it.